Hi, I'm Liliana Usvat, and I would like to present selection of one of my books. The book is Knowledge from Beyond, and today we are going to focus on two subjects: the Temple of the Ancients and the Sphinx. Let's start with the Temple of the Ancients. According to Dolores Cannon, the original temple dating back to Babylon were designed with pillars. These pillars were evenly spaced all around the temple outside. Some temples have the roof open to the sky. These temples were intended to be observatory. The priest will sit at a designed spot in the center of the building and observe and record the movement of stars and planets. As these stars and planets passed between the open space of the pillars, these records will have been kept and observed for hundreds of years. These pictures are from Athens. These records will become part of the sacred knowledge, and only those of the sacred mystery schools will have had access and able to interpret the meaning. This would have been the birth and the beginning of astrology and astronomy. The original teachings would have come from the extraterrestrial beings. Much of the knowledge originally given will have meant observing the planetary bodies that were invisible to the naked eye. They used highly advanced objects such as telescopes. The information was essential to ET because it was related to their home planet. They wanted to keep track of the movement of stars and of the sky to know when the best time to journey there or to communicate with the home planet. Some of the information was important for the Earth to plot the passing time and the season, to know when to plant or to harvest. But some were important for extraterrestrial, not the primitive humans who were living there at the time. So see the dimension of people in report with this extremely large observatory. The knowledge of the use of the mind to create and levitate was perfected in some highly advanced civilization and carried to Egypt and other places by the survivors after destruction of Atlantis. The extraterrestrial people were living among men and sharing this advanced knowledge during the time of Atlantis. These are remains of a temple of Athens. Of Zeus, temple of Zeus in Athens. Very large block stone, extremely well workmanship, so there is very little space between large stones. We can see in Athens. So the destruction of these columns must have been done by very powerful weapons. So apparently these temples were observatory, ancient observatory. Another subject that I like to present today from Knowledge from Beyond, from this book, that can be found at my website, are the Sphinx. Few information about the Sphinx. The history of, so we are talking about the information that came from emerald tablets. The history of tablets, it's strange and beyond belief for modern scientists. Their antiquity is stupendous. Dating back some 36,000 BC. The writer is Thoth the Atlantean, the priest king who founded the colony in ancient Egypt. This happened after the sinking of the mother country. He was the builder of the Great Pyramid of Giza, erroneously attributed to Cheops. One of the proof that this information is true, there is only one Cheops statue at the museum of at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, a very small statue. So pharaoh that built such big buildings should have left more than a small statue. There is only one small statue according to the guide from Egyptian Museum. The knowledge incorporated in Giza pyramid, so the Giza pyramid, it's incorporating ancient wisdom, and also has secret recording information from Atlantis. For 16,000 years, Thoth ruled the ancient race of Egypt from 52,000 BC to 36,000 BC. At that time, the ancient barbarian race among which he and his followers settled had been raised to a high degree of civilization. Thoth was an immortal being. He conquered death, passing only when he willed, and even then, not through death. Thoth was deified as a god of wisdom. Here we have a stela that is situated between the paws of the Sphinx that records a story regarding a king that slept near the Sphinx while the Sphinx was still old and covered with sand. And in the dream, the soul of the Sphinx spoke to the person and told him that if he is going to clean the Sphinx, he will be made king. He will become king in the future. He did that, and he did become a king. This stela is, which is a piece of stone with writing on it, is recording that information. So the Sphinx and the Giza pyramid was built by Thoth. Underneath Giza pyramid, underneath the Sphinx, there are the halls of Ameti. You see here on the side of the Sphinx, there is something that is possible to be a passage to go underneath the Sphinx. The Sphinx is now not reshaped, but it's reconstructed. So So Thoth, according to this information, underneath the Sphinx, there are halls of Amenti, and became the underworld, the hall of gods, where the soul passed after the judgment. So this is the back of the Sphinx. So these pictures were taken in 2018. So we see the reconstruction of the Sphinx. And we can see here a little something that can be an entrance underneath the Sphinx. Initially, the Sphinx had the face of a woman, and later on, when the patriarchal society came in power, the face was changed to the face of a man. Now we have megalithic structures that are used to build the Sphinx. And this is the picture that showed that they have equipment that after they placed the stones into position, the stone, it was a machine used to make a round, to rounding the stones at the corner. And this machine should have been very large. The distance between two stones, it's very small, so you cannot put a knife between these two stones. There are similar with the buildings of Peru, megalithic structures of Peru. So these are, we are going underneath the Sphinx. This is our guide. So we are going to talk more about the stone that is basically the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza, that has certain holes in it, and apparently these holes were used to activate the water circulating underneath the Sphinx through some channels. So again, you can find my book. So this is part of my book, Knowledge from Beyond, that can be found at ucbooksale.com. And thank you for watching.